Hey guys, in this video I want to go over Bitcoin and two possible scenarios that I really see for the crypto market in general. Overall, I still remain bullish, but I just want to point out that last time that we had a bear market, it was a slow bleed. So if you were here in 2017, then you will remember this slow bleed that happened in 2018. Just like, as you can see, it started dropping. Usually there's this like sharp drop and then a recovery before it continues dropping. This has not happened for us. But look, this was a period of 105 days, pretty much. Drop of like quite a lot, right? The worst was here, and it still slow bled for a long time, bottoming out at pretty much a year at negative 80%. And there was no sign of a recovery pump. So that's the one worry I have, is that you have this huge pump and then just a slow burn that doesn't end. And that is definitely a possibility. So it is possible that we're in a bear market. I just want to throw that out there because it really is a possible scenario, right? It's not like this is not impossible. And you can even see we kind of found support here on this area before breaking below that, if you call that a um ascending triangle. I believe that's the name. Basically this shape, right? And then we had a pump finally, but that took, it took a long time. It took over a year, and it's super possible that we might be in that already. And you look at this kind of pump, like this was actually really big. This was not a small pump. This was a gigantic pump where tons of money was being made. And then you have a secondary pump that, yeah, it did possibly not double top. Um, so it's possible, look, that we just do a straight slow bleed here, for a whole year. And where I would imagine us doing would be something like this, right? Bam, cover, and just slow bleeding along this line here. Um, it's possible we even break below this whole 28K, but I'm not so sure if that will actually happen. I think if we are in a bear market, you're gonna see a slow thing right here. Probably tap on this weekly. We might break below it for some point to accumulate, but it won't. I don't think we are going below 20K Bitcoin ever again. Um, and you look at the institutional adoption, like, I don't know. I want to try to be as real as possible, but it's like there's so much. It's a country that's adopted this. There's so much adoption that has happened, and yeah, crypto's still not like utilized as much as it should be. But I mean, let's see. And you could say that this is a double bottom right here. We've wicked now twice. Um, which I did buy this dip here, and then I barely sold above it. But it looks like we had no upwards momentum, which is a really bad sign. And it's just something that you should be aware of. It's like super possible that we're in a bear market now. That's definitely a scenario. Personally, do I think the chances of that are high? I don't. I think that we're not actually in one yet, but I do want to share that it is possible that we are. My personal belief is that we're not. And I think what might happen is we might slow bleed a little bit longer and then have that rise. And, you know, crypto really works in a way that hurts other people, so to say, like it goes against what they believe. And so when people are in despair, hope, despair, that whole cycle, it's actually, in my opinion, started playing out, right? Like the whole despair part, etc. part, and you just emotions keep going on. You're like, okay, here's the final time, and then it keeps going down still, and they're just like, oh my god, I give up, I'm selling, I'm out. And that's when it starts to really go up. Now the second scenario that I think will really happen is I drew this out already, but we slow bleed down here, and then we make a final rise for like a 72k before we come down, and then this is a three peaks pattern, and from there we just start going down and spending time down at these lows. Uh, this is a scenario that I'm actually thinking will more likely happen, but I don't know. Like, it's possible that we just slow bleed down and whatnot, but I think we got one more impulse in us to be able to sell off. You know, people start seeing this, they start imagining a full on bull run and just burn more people, and then FOMO hits in really strong and hard, and they think it's finally time, and then we just crash down. Um, in my opinion, that's a scenario that I'm highly considering. But of course, there's plenty of other scenarios that could happen. These are just two scenarios that I think are happening. But overall, you can see the alts are down by quite a lot. Look like something like Luna. It's just this coin has gone up like 180x in a year. It's just that's if you don't call that a top, then I don't know what you're calling a top, because to me that's definitely a top. You can't have a coin go up that much and expect more money to just be dropped in. I do think Luna will be a top 3 to 5 coin for sure, but like it doesn't have to be right now. It could be in a year or two later. And so just be aware, like if something's gone up that much, what are the chances that it's gonna keep doing that? I don't I don't think so. Personally I just don't. What you don't want is you don't want to look hindsight and be like, oh, I should have known, like if I looked at this, I should have known. You don't want that, right? You want to be able to be like, you know what? This was clear to me that this was a top and I got out. But that's why it's really important to take profits, and I hope you guys are. Just because if you aren't, like you're really hurting yourself from crypto and you don't want to get burned. So I hope that really helps, guys. I know this channel is about IDOs, but the current market, you have to be a lot more skilled. And I think like if you already are skilled at IDOs, then sure, stay in, keep it 10% of your portfolio or less. But if you're not skilled, it's not wise for you to try to get in now unless you really have money to burn so that you can learn. Because any type of thing I've ever done, I've been burned at it with crypto before I started learning. I do know that right now is NFT season. So it is possible that last time NFT season was the mark before we went up. Could happen again as well. Uh, but if you want to make money, I think the opportunity right now is move from layer ones and layer twos to NFTs. But thanks for watching, guys.